Jason Castro, who's a singer-songwriter, and he was on a show too called American Idol. See, that time I just put it at the back end of describing it.
That's right. It's just something I did.
Yeah, it's just, a new husband. Well, a year ago. I mean, you can check out the new EP from Jason Castro at jasoncastromusic.com. And let's do a final envelope before you gotta hit the road here. You've been married a year now.
Yes.
I've been married 8.5, so I'm a little bit ahead, but this is one that I still will struggle to answer. What is the part of marriage that they didn't put in the brochure?
Oh.
And since your wife is here, this is, hopefully this is all about helping other people by saying this is what the reality is.
I think there's a lot of stuff that just nobody really tells you about. A lot more challenges than you would expect, and we've been really lucky to have at our church, they're really proactive in community. And
do you mind if I ask your wife to answer this one, but with a twist? Maybe around the house. Maybe.
What's that mean?
Maybe just living together.
She's telling me, don't embarrass me. She just mouthed that. But maybe I should change my course.
That's why I wrote the question, was to embarrass you.
But just seeing little things that we do different.
Brushing my teeth is
like
something else.
Brushing her teeth. Like, not things that are wrong, but just things that I look at and I'm like, why do you do it like that? And she's just like, well, I just always done it like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And things like that are always funny because they just make me laugh because my wife's so cute. When she brushes her teeth, she doesn't turn the brush. She comes all the way around. So one side of her face is covered in toothpaste. And I'm just like, why? Just turn your hand.
I've never had anyone tell me otherwise or that I was doing it strange.
And this is so funny because, I can understand why that's just what you've always done.
I think maybe one of the hardest things is maybe just the kitchen. That's the only thing I think living-wise when we are home, since I am usually the one who cleans the kitchen. He is a good helper. You do.
And that's always been hard. My mom growing up will tell you that's always been hard.
That's the area where I'm like, okay, getting a little frustrated, like just cleaning the dishes
or
and putting them up.
Whenever I always like to invite people over to our house anytime. If we're hanging out and we want to keep hanging and everywhere's closed, I'm like, yeah, let's go over to our place.
And we just got in town and our suitcase exploded all over our, so I'm like,
I've had to been told a couple times, you can't just invite people over. You have to tell me. And we're pretty much like, we have to clean out the house every time before we leave because I know that I'm going to end up inviting somebody.
When I first asked this question, I was starting to feel really insecure about my marriage, but about 3 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'll be fine.
My life, my faith, my music. Our JR.
Our JR.
Afternoons on Joy FM.